Hey, how's it going, guys? I've been busy today. This morning did my hike, then I come back and said I'm going to Lowe's. Miss Daisy said, what are you going to get at Lowe's? I said, it's polyester resin. Yeah, this whole truck right here, this little 99 Ranger, oops, 99. I wonder why the paint's failing on a 99 truck. Huh, maybe Ford doesn't use good paint, you think? Yeah, I think this old truck this is an old beater, 99. Friend used to have a dealer's license. We bought this thing at an auction. Got a really good buy on it. I'm up over 200,000 on this thing, and it hasn't you know, it's standard stuff, your brakes and whatever. No major components, like the motor's hanging in there. It's got a little 4-cylinder, automatic tranny. The rear end, tranny, and engine have all stayed together on this thing. I baby it. I don't, you know, push it hard. But what I did push hard was old Steve-O and his commercial fishing action. All the saltwater gear thrown up in here. And then, you know, sometimes when you get in for fishing, get a little lazy and you don't wash stuff down. Yeah, it happens, guys. It happens. All right. So I took the tool. I looked under the toolbox, and the whole front end of this thing, it had drain holes, but the whole front end had holes you could stick your fist through, starting from right here all the way across. You could stick your fist right through there, the whole thing. And then this hole and this whole side here. Look at this, guys. Check this out. The whole bolt that holds this bed to the frame was completely rotted off. That one's holding, this one's holding. There's three bolts holding this whole bed on. I bet if I hooked a chain on this sucker and threw it around a tree and took off pedal to the metal, I'd probably rip this whole box right off the ass end of the truck here. But let's not go there yet, okay? So what I did, my good old Gorilla Tape. Yeah. I sat and bridged this thing, guys. I just took tape. This looked like it was shotgun. Looked like he hit it with a 12 gauge across here. All the rotten holes in here. Actually, there's one little hole I missed. What I did, here's my Gorilla Tape right here, actually. I just Gorilla Taped over there, and this whole crack was opened up. This whole thing. So I came over here and Gorilla taped up, and then I put about 4 lines across here and put some more on it. And that's what I used to bridge this entire void. Gorilla Tape. Then I took polyester resin, and I got a quart of that down there. Quart was overkill, really. And I put a little kicker in it, put it in a cut-off milk jug. Take a brush that you don't want to use anymore, because it's either that or buy a bunch of acetone to clean your brush out, and so it's not worth it. You just throw away the brush and the bucket and you mix it in. But yeah, I just slopped it all over, and then I had a bunch of fiberglass chopping. It's already cut strand chop. It's about that long. I've got a big box of it. It was left over from my taxidermy days, and so I just threw that all in there, and you just blotch it out, you know. And I put a little extra kicker in there. Of course, in the sun, I mean, this stuff kicked like that. Yep, I got all the material down just as it's kicking. And then I got at the store, some hardware store, some bed liner spray can. It was a big tall can, and I used it kind of sparingly because I wanted to cover the whole bed with it. Actually, could use another can. I may go get another can and shoot it. And in here, I just taped it off with the painter's tape right here. I had a kind of a bed liner thing on there, and here's the little remnants of what's left. But you can see here the smoother part, it just all flaked off after about 1.5 years. There wasn't no big. I didn't have much money in it at all anyway. I had it farmed out. My mechanic did it for me. And it did a nice job, and it did hold up for about 1.5 years, but I am rough on stuff, guys. I'm throwing commercial gear in this thing, beehives, whatever. I mean, I'm not real easy going to get it, you know. Anyway, So yeah, so anyway, this is just a little quickie fix. I'm going to drill some 3/8 drain holes down through there. Probably on every one of these little pockets I'll drill a drain hole so we can get the water out of here. Otherwise this thing's going to fill up all the way to that scupper hole. I got another scupper hole here. Actually I went over it, and it's only one coat, and you can see one coat of chop. It's not really that thick, but I'm not throwing rocks and big timbers and stuff in here. I do haul some 57 road granite in this thing. I'll throw 1,000 pounds on this thing. And to sweeten up my driveway, I got a 2-track coming in, and I put that 57. I shoveled out 42 tons of rock by myself in that driveway up there. 42 tons, hauling 1,000 pounds at a time in this little truck. And I got a little, well, actually the box wore out. It rotted out. I got to build a new box. And actually I leave my toolbox in here, and this box slides underneath a piece of plywood, and then I create another shield here in the front of the toolbox, and then I I put a stud down here, screwed to the plywood, 1/2 inch plywood, and then I put a sheet of plywood. It goes from this lip right here down to this stud, and I overlap the stud, and then I shoot screws in. So I leave the back end open that way, and I do this on both sides. So you've got I create a trough basically, and yeah, I pull down on the scales, and the boys, he hits it with a bucket, and on the corner of the bucket so he can center it right here, dribbles it in, and he gives me he can accurately, the scale is right there. You can sit there and watch the scale, and he puts exactly 1,000 pounds in this thing. And then when I get to where I want to go, I take this off, tailgate off. It comes off real easy. And so I did the thing here too. I put the painter's tape on there, just a quickie. I knocked this thing out in an hour. It was nothing special. We're not going for looks here so much as just durability, you know. I'm going to come in here. I've got an orbital sander. I'm going to hit this a little bit and get back to some good material. And right here's another spot. See, the paint's all going. It's all flaking off. There's actually very good metal underneath this thing. They actually galvanize this thing, believe it or not. But it just, you know, how much salt water can you take, you know? Throwing all those cast nets and stuff in here made it rot out. But anyway, so that's that little deal. I thought I'd show you that. And the other little trick is here I've discovered something. Actually, I didn't discover nothing. Rick that sells these devices. Rick Storman at gmail.com. Yeah, I'll put the link out there for him. He said he uses an inverter. Well, here's a little, I'd already test drive this up here at the barn, and here's what I got. It's a little Centec power inverter, 400 watt continuous, 800 peak, 12 volt input, 115 output. Yeah, I test drove it a while ago, and this thing worked perfect. Shot right up to 400 some degrees. So, but that was with this little cord. I've got one in the swamp that I'm going to add extra cord to. So we'll see if this little inverter will handle all this extra, you know, draw on the unit here, and see if it works. Maybe we'll end up just burning everything up. Who knows? But anyway. Yeah, it worked, and so I'm going to gear up, and what we're going to do here today is go around, shoot all these colonies again with oxalic acid. And what are the baby girls doing here? Look at here. Look at here. They're all waiting in line. It's funny on these pollen substitute. You can go weeks at a time and they won't hit these things at all, and all of a sudden, boom, they hit it, and they hit it hard. There's a lot of stuff in the neighborhood. I noticed my Chinese towels, there's no bees on it yet, and it's right there at the peak of popping. So hopefully we'll get some of that action here. So today's mission is, all I'm going to do, I'm going to try something different, guys. I'm going to go around to these colonies and just crack it with my hive tool here. And I'm going to shove that nozzle underneath, and we're going to shoot it from the top down, see how that goes. If that goes pretty good, we might just do that on a regular basis, I don't know. Instead of shooting through the golf tee in the back. Play it by ear, you know. All right, let me gear up here. Okay guys, let's give it a whirl here. Like you're shooting them pretty good. Yeah, this way I don't have to pull off these feeder jars and all that stuff. Next. Yeah, she's already up to 480. I mean, it happens quick, guys. It happens quick. It probably wouldn't hurt, guys, to take like a beach towel. It probably wouldn't hurt to take this feeder bucket off. I may do that next time. Because see, I'm getting some escaping gas here, right? But them bees are blowing it out the bottom too. I can see it coming out the bottom. So take the feeder jar off, I could throw my plug in there, right? And just throw a beach towel over it real quick. I could go that way too. I was having issues with a little propolis action, and then the tool hitting, you know, whatever, a propolis in there, and the frames and stuff. So this might not be a bad way to go right here. I keep a smoker going too, guys, just in case they start getting a little testy. So far, so good. Looks like I'm losing a pretty good bit of vapor doing it this way. I think if I dropped a beach towel, say, over this top, it would kind of force feed it in. You know, I've got all screen bottoms on here, so if I did this, when the bees start blowing, it's going to go right down through that screen. Just trying to think of other ways we can, you know, skin the cat, you know. Yeah, she's boiling out the entrance good here when I put it in between. Boiling out the back at bottom really well. Yep. We'll knock them out, knock that one out. I got a few around the corner. I had a die out here on this rail, so we'll go down through these, shoot all these. I don't think I'm going to shoot that martin hive yet. I want to make sure she gets back from her mating flight. I'm going to check her on 23 and see if she came back. If she's not back and laying eggs on 23, it's probably she didn't make it. But let's keep positive thought, okay? These plugs, guys, get extremely hot. Extremely hot. Be careful. And to fish these cups out of here, here's what I do. Take my tool. Take my hive tool and hook it on the side and pull it up to where you can grab it. 483. So far I haven't pissed anybody off too bad yet. I see it coming out the bottom down here, so the bees are just blowing it slap through the whole colony. I think this is a doable method. Time will tell. As soon as I can get some alcohol, the stores are out. So I really don't know how we're doing on this till we start doing some alcohol wash. Time will tell, guys. Time will tell. Alrighty guys, the Rick trick is working. So this will save me throwing on that little pony tailgater generator, this little inverter, and hey, it works. So I appreciate it, Rick, for this little tidbit idea. Very cool. You guys need one of these vaporizers, touch base with Rick. I'll leave the his email below so you can get it. Alright guys, see you on the next one. Stay out of them doctor's offices, okay? And be happy. Be strong. Because you know it. You know it. We got to keep getting her on. See you guys.